And I'm going to apologize for the glare on my glasses, but I am too lazy to put in my contacts today. It's Friday the 13th as I'm filming this, and it just, maybe just sticking my finger in my eye feels like a bad idea. Anyway, I recently finished WANNABE, Reckoning with the Pop Culture That Shapes Me, by Aisha Harris. She is a co-host of the podcast Pop Culture Happy Hour, which is a podcast that I used to listen to when I listened to podcasts a lot. I don't listen to podcasts regularly anymore, and when I do, the only one I listen to is No Such Thing as a Fish, because I'm so far behind on that, and that's just like, if I'm gonna pop in a podcast, that's what I'm gonna listen to these days. But I did enjoy Pop Culture Happy Hour there for a little while, and you know, their little round table discussions of movies or whatever the latest pop culture thing is. And maybe I'll go back and listen to it again at some point. In any case, this book is a series of personal essays about pop culture, and then kind of Aisha Harris's personal relationship with that pop culture, and then kind of the broader scope of it, starting with like the essay Isn't She Lovely, which talks about Aisha's name and where it came from, and how she grew up with this idea that it had to do with Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely, and like, I guess Aisha is the name of Stevie Wonder's daughter, which is something I never knew. But and then she found out later that that wasn't the case. Like, her dad was like, no, that's not why we named you that. But like, it's interesting, the ideas that we get from pop culture, or the ways that we try to connect to pop culture, connect our identities to it. There's kind of something inherent in the human race, I think, that goes that way. There's essays about the black best friend / sidekick character in media. There's a really good essay about the cyclical nature of IP, and how the nostalgia machine keeps feeding us back our childhoods, and oh, we know you like this, like, so we will give you more of it, or we'll give it to you again. Like, how many iterations of Spider-Man do we need? Apparently a lot, if the Spider-Verse is anything to go by. But in any case, it was a really interesting read. I especially for me, as someone whose undergraduate degree was in media studies, so I studied a lot of pop culture, and fandom was kind of my screenwriting. But then because screenwriting wasn't a degree, I did media studies, and I focused on fandom specifically, because as a fan, I was curious about what makes us who we are, why we're like this, why am I like this, and so this book feeds that interest for me. I was surprised at how much I could relate. I mean, I know that Aisha Harris was doing a lot of this through a filter of her blackness, and yet still, reading it, I was able to relate to a lot of what she said, and to understand. And also, I learned a lot from that whole black perspective angle, things that maybe I, as a white person, wouldn't normally think about in terms of fandom. And I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. There was this one essay about her never wanting to be a parent, and how parents are glorified in media, and that was the one I kind of just skimmed, because I know she doesn't mean to make people who have chosen to be parents feel bad, but like, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm being told I made a bad decision when I chose to be a parent, kind of thing. And so that was the one that didn't really land for me, but the rest of it was really interesting. And yeah, I mean, even if some of it is very like memoirish, Harris talks about her like history of dating, and how she tried to be the cool girl who didn't want anything, didn't want a commitment. She just wanted to kind of be like guys and just kind of have fun, and like, and then she talks a little bit about bell hooks. If you watch Reads with Rachel, bell hooks. And yeah, so it's short. I mean, it was like 269 pages, so it was a quick read. And if you're interested in pop culture, if you're interested particularly in Black or minority representation in media and some of the filters that, go with that, stuff like that, I found it an interesting read. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars. And that's it. That's like my quickie review. I am still reading the latest Percy Jackson, and that one's also not very long. I think that one's also only 260 something pages. It's a short one, and I'm more than halfway through it, so that will probably be the next book I review. And I've got a stack from the library, and then I've got a stack of books that I physically own that I haven't read. I haven't been using my e-reader because it just doesn't hold a charge long enough anymore. And I can't remember to ever plug it in. So I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to be an e-reader type person. So I just really need to. The thing is, I don't have room to buy books. So yeah, I mean, if my library doesn't have it, it's probably not going to be something I ever read, which is kind of a shame. But unless someone wants to spot me no, you know what? Even if I had a new e-reader, I just don't think I would remember to plug it in and use it. I don't reach for that when I'm looking for something to read. I look for a book. I'm just that old enough, I guess. So yeah, I guess I need to find. We have a half price books. I can buy books cheap and then like kind of turn them in, I guess. It's kind of far away. It's kind of a hike. I don't know. It's not someplace I go all the time. I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure out ways to read. I can't do audiobooks. I can't absorb the story. I can do audio nonfiction, but I can't do audio fiction. So yeah. But anyway, that said, I've got a stack of books. I've got stuff from the library. I've got plenty to read. There will be more coming. This was just a quick drop in to say that this was a good one. If you like that kind of thing, if you have an interest in that kind of thing. Yeah. And that's it. Until next time, take care.